read. But let's transition. Let's have a little bit of a discussion here. And this is not necessarily a new release, but it's some big news here. And we're talking about the return of the Marvel characters coming to Disney Plus. That's right. Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, who I'm not a fan of, the Defenders, the Punisher, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's right. March 16th, they will be coming to Disney Plus. As you all can see on the screen now, Disney will be adding parental controls to the platform, allowing for more mature content. Now that gets me so excited. I am so happy to hear that, minus Iron Fist, but I am so excited to hear mature content on Disney Plus. That is something that I think they have been shying away from. They've been kind of nervous, like, oh man, if the kids can't watch it, how well will it do? If the kids can't watch it, how well will the toy sales do? Listen, man, kids grow up. and when I'm going to talk about my next topic here, the kids that started off with the MCU, that was 2008, right? So that was more than 14 years ago. So that that 10-year-old that saw Iron Man in 2008, he's, 24 years old. So we got to continue to age with our viewers, Disney. So I love this news here because number one, I'm taking all these actors and putting them in the MCU. Obviously, spoiler alert for those that haven't seen Spider-Man No Way Home, but Fear himself, Daredevil, is in the MCU officially. Charlie Cox is back playing the character. I would love for Mike Coulter to come back as, Luke Cage. I would love for, I can't think of the actress name, but who played Jessica Jones. I really enjoyed the first season of that show. Again, I don't mean to be rude, but Danny Rand, the actor from Game of Thrones who played Iron Fist, you can go ahead and recast him because, he just wasn't for me. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I really never got into that series, but I'm glad that they can, find a home on Disney Plus. But also, I don't want to leave out, I don't know why I don't have a picture of this character. The Punisher, listen, the Punisher was punishing. That show was like pushing the boundaries of like MA material. I mean, John Berthal, one of my favorite actors, him as Frank Castle was fantastic. So I love this idea that we're getting more of these mature shows making its way to Disney Plus, because to me, that means that Disney is now realizing we gotta tackle all spectrums of different age groups. We just can't always focus on the family-friendly content, especially when it comes to these more darker characters that they're starting to explore, a la who we're going to talk about here in a little bit with MoonKnight and Blade and, the Punisher and Daredevil. We got to explore those characters, the depths, the grittiness of those characters. So I love that Disney has made this decision. And like I said, the perfect example is, again, 10-year-old little, Steven, when he was seeing Iron Man for the first time with his mom and dad in 2008, he was 10 years old. And as the years have gone, it's been 14 years later, and Steven's now a 24-year-old male who wants to consume adult mature content. And I think that this move here means to me that we're going to start getting that content. And as a Marvel fan, when I look at the different spectrums of the age groups, we can still, have the kid-friendly content, the Spider-Mans of the world. We can have the West Coast Avengers, the new Avengers, right? The young Avengers. We already have, Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop. We have the twins introduced in WandaVision. We have, Stature, Cassie, Ant-Man's daughter. We introduce Isaiah Bradley from Falcon and Winter Soldier. So you can have a kid-friendly Avengers TV show or movie for the kids to digest. Miss Marvel's coming out later this year, so they can have that spectrum. Transition to the teenagers, adults. We can have our Avengers, right? We can have those more adult content, conversations with the characters, more intellectual conversations of saving the world and the Punishers of the world. What separates him from a murderer, right? And then even more mature, more rated R mature, I'm talking about MoonKnight. I'm talking not, the MoonKnight characters and the Midnight Suns, the Blade, MoonKnight, Doctor Strange, the Punisher, Ghost Rider, characters like that. We can really get supernatural. We can really get weird. We can really dive into the horror elements of those characters. And again, you're touching every single spectrum: kids, teenagers, adults, more mature adults. So I'm loving this announcement here. Let me know what you all think about this. Are you excited for these shows making its home, making its, new home on the Disney Plus platform? And what do you think this means for the future of Disney content, as well as in particularly the MCU content? Are we getting more into that mature audience? Are we going to dive deeper into showing blood, having, sexual type of innuendos with characters, really having those more adult themes in their characters? So let me know if you all excited for it. I certainly am. And I think this is a perfect segue to this announcement here, because in about 29 days, we got a character that is dark, that is gritty. Some might say might be the Batman of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that is Moon Knight, played by Oscar Isaac, coming to Disney Plus on March 30th. Wow, I am loving everything we're getting from the posters, the trailers, the cast. I mean, come on, Oscar Isaac, you got Ethan Hawke, you got the man rocking the suit straight out of the comics. I mean, this is mature type of content. I mean, the man dies and is brought back to life, and he doesn't just want to hurt his victims, he sometimes kills his victims. So I love, again, this is perfect announcement for Disney. We can get gritty, we can get dark, we can get bloody. I'm talking about Moon Knight, I'm talking about Blade, I'm talking about Punisher, I'm talking about Daredevil. Show me the mature content. I love this announcement again, but more particularly March 30th, Moon Knight. I'm so excited for it. Again, I've read a couple, not like in particular like Moon Knight individual runs. I've seen his characters pop up in some of the, kind of the more bigger event comic book runs with Moon Knight being included. So I'm vaguely familiar with the character. I know he normally goes by the mantra of Mark Spector, who is, like a Marine specialist, ops, black ops. He gets in some really messed up stuff, and he can handle his own. He's good with hand-to-hand combat. He goes on some mission to Egypt. He, comes across this artifact. He kind of, dies within kind of finding that artifact. He's brought back to life by the moon god, and then it gives him the abilities to have like super strength. As you all can see in the trailer, I mean, my man's jumping over buildings. And he's able to, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the higher the moon is out, or the fuller the moon, the more his powers kind of, enhance himself. So I love all that mythology. I love the fact that we can dive into, Werewolf by Night. We can dive into Dracula's of the world. We can dive into maybe Blade make an appearance on this show, or Punisher himself, or even, Matt Murdock somehow, some way getting tied into it. I'm loving this, Marvel. I'm loving that I love my, space adventures, multiverse stuff, but also love the groundedness of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I love the grittiness of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I talked about the Batman earlier. A lot of people compare this character to the Batman because he has a particular personality that he presents himself as like a billionaire. So I'm excited for Moon Knight. Expect a lot of coverage on that show coming later this month. Reviews, live streams, deep dives into the characters, of course, your thoughts and theories and all those fun stuff that we do with our Marvel shows. So again, we talked about how we're getting these more mature characters coming to Disney Plus. And it don't get more mature than the man right here, Moon Knight, played by Oscar Isaac. Just a couple weeks ago, they talked about how this show is going to be pushing the boundaries, pushing the envelope, really getting dark. And Kevin Feige's like, are we going to pull back? They did not. At first, I'm like, okay, we'll see with that. But after the announcement of the Disney Plus acquisition to the Netflix shows, I'm expecting some dark, gritty stuff when it comes to Moon Knight. So again, guys, let me know in the comments if you're excited for this. As you can see, I'm pretty excited for Moon Knight with that character. So let me catch up to these comments here, because with the new Parental Controls, Marvel starts driving a little deeper into dark themes and darker characters. Yeah, again, that's what we're getting here with a Moon Knight. That's what I'm hoping to see, is more the psyche of these characters, the dark, the grittiness, the rawness, the more mature content. I want to see blood. I don't condone violence, but I want to see some blood. And based on some of these trailers we gotten so far, we're going to be seeing some blood. So yeah, I'm really excited to dive deeper into these more mature type of characters like a Moon Knight, and maybe having a Midnight Suns series with Blade, Doctor Strange making an appearance, Moon Knight making an appearance, Daredevil, Punisher, and Ghost Rider. Let's make it happen, Marvel. Let's make it happen. All right, let's see where we're at.